They said her road was already paved, that with her last name, her family legacy, and the sponsors behind her, success in NASCAR was just a matter of time. The daughter of freestyle motocross legend Hailie Deegan was supposed to rise effortlessly, but what nobody saw coming was how heavy that legacy would become. The same weight that was meant to lift her up started holding her down. From the outside, it looked perfect. Hailie Deegan had the fans, the headlines, the backing. She was one of the most talked about young names in racing. But inside the garages, behind closed doors, the whispers started. Something wasn't right. The hype was fading, and the momentum that once felt unstoppable began to stall. By the time everyone realized it, it was already too late. Hailie didn't just wake up one day in a stock car. She fought her way there. She started in off-road trucks not because it was easy, but because that's where her roots were. She inherited her dad's fire, but the path she built was her own, one made of grit, sweat, and a fearless need to prove herself. When she first started turning heads, people called her aggressive, but really, she was fearless, because she wasn't just racing competitors, she was racing against a stereotype. In a sport still dominated by men, every mistake she made was magnified, every win questioned, every move picked apart. Yet through the K and N Pro Series and ARCA, she kept pushing. And when she became the first female driver to win a K and N race, it wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. But the higher she climbed, the tougher it got. The Truck Series was a different beast. The competition was brutal, the margins razor thin, and the patience of her critics non-existent. Some drivers roughed her up on the track. Some fans turned against her. Others defended her. But few truly understood what she was fighting off camera. There were sponsorship demands, team politics, constant questions about her value, not just as a racer, but as a brand. Still, she showed up, she trained harder, she kept grinding, but over time, the NASCAR system started to change her, and not in the way she hoped. The spark that once made her dangerous started to dim. Then came the move no one expected. Hailie Deegan walked away, not just from a team, not just from the Truck Series, from NASCAR itself. Her reason? Freedom, growth, a chance to rebuild herself as a racer. She signed with HMD Motorsports in the Indy NXT Series. And immediately, the energy shifted. For the first time, she had a team that gave her access to everything. Real-time data, analytics, teammates she could actually learn from. It wasn't about politics anymore. It was about performance. And that changed everything. Then came her first laps in an open-wheel car. No windshield, no power steering, no comfort, just pure raw speed. She described the force of the wind trying to rip her helmet off, the chin strap digging into her neck. Every second behind the wheel felt like a fight. But that's exactly what she'd been missing, a real challenge. Because in NASCAR, physical fitness isn't everything. But in IndyCar, it's survival. And that's where Hailie found her edge. She's always loved training, pushing her body, being at peak condition. She said it herself. In NASCAR, you can get by. In IndyCar, you can't. And that's why she loves it. The intensity, the demand, the pressure to be better every single lap. But this story isn't just about cars or fitness, it's about burnout. Hailie admitted that there were nights after NASCAR races when she'd fly home on the verge of tears. The endless travel, the 33-race grind, no time to breathe, no time to grow. It wasn't one bad weekend that broke her. It was years of a system that never gave her room to improve, only room to survive. Indy NXT changed that. 14 races, a balanced schedule, time to train, time to recover, time to evolve. For the first time in her career, she wasn't just chasing the next race. She was chasing progress. It's not easier, it's smarter. Now, every race is a data-driven mission. Every lap gets analyzed. Every mistake becomes a lesson. At HMD Motorsports, she's surrounded by teammates and engineers focused on making her faster, not just more marketable. She's learning, adapting, and regaining confidence one corner at a time. But don't think the doubts are gone. Years of public scrutiny, online hate, and constant comparison leave marks that don't fade overnight. She's still learning to trust herself again, to believe that she's not just a name or a headline, but a driver who belongs at the top level of racing. What's happening now isn't just a career shift, it's a rebirth. The same girl who once stood on the podium breaking barriers in the K and N series is still there. Only now, she's smarter, stronger, and more determined than ever. The goal isn't to prove she belongs in NASCAR anymore. The goal is to prove she belongs in racing, period. So what's next? Does Hailie Deegan rise through Indy NXT and earn a full-time ride in IndyCar? Does she make it to the Indianapolis 500 and go wheel to wheel with the best in the world? Or will the expectations that haunted her in NASCAR come back to test her one more time? Whatever happens, one thing is clear: she's not done. She's just driving a new road, one that finally feels like her own. Because for Hailie Deegan, this was never just about fame or family. It was about becoming the racer she was always meant to be. And now, for the first time in a long time, she's finally in control. So what do you think? Did Hailie Deegan get pushed out by a system that never truly supported her, or did she outgrow it? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because in motorsports, the biggest turning points don't always happen on the track. Sometimes they happen when a driver finally decides to walk away.